From box office powerhouses to the best concerts of all time, we have it all for you this week on Popcorn and Root Beer. Let's get going.
Grab your popcorn, dim the lights. It's movie time, we're taking flight. From the silver screen to your earbuds here, we're diving deep, so lend your ear. Action, drama, comedy, gold. Stories fresh and classics old. We'll break it down, scene by scene. From indie gems to Hollywood dreams. Roll the credits, let's begin. Talking movies, where do we fit in? Heroes, villains, twists and turns. The love for cinema always burns. Roll the credits, it's time to see what makes the movies magic for you and me.
Oh boy, it's a special time of the week because we got Popcorn and Root Beer at a weird time with a weird cast. Welcome in one and all of our IBT friends and family. Thank you so much for being here on IBT's only remaining R-rated show on the channel. Everything else has had to go PG, which is super exciting, but nonetheless, it's interesting for us. I am not alone, but I am not with my normal cast this week. We brought Jake back, and then we lost Trash. Really strange. Jake, how's it going, though?
Oh, we're living the dream. We're ready for Friday. We're ready for the weekend. I'm ready to just crack a beer and call it a day. It's been a week.
Jake, you are IBT's version of Seth Rollins to the WWE. You are everything and anything we need you to be. And if you are Seth Rollins, that means the man to the other side of me is our tribal chief, our head of the table, our founder, Seth Woolcock. We acknowledge. Seth, how's it going?
Steven, Jacob, great to be here with you on this fine Friday afternoon. It's a lot like Rebecca Black, man. It's Friday. I'm ready to go, man. But yeah, glad to be here. Popcorn Root Beer has been such a fun addition to the In Between Media YouTube family over the past year or so. So such a blessing to be on here with you guys and talk a little music, talk a little movies today, shifting gears for me, which feels nice for a change.
Yeah, it's definitely a change for you, and it's definitely a change for you and I both, because usually you are running the show and
Yes.
I am bouncing off of you, and now it's kind of flipped here. But as Seth said, this is about movies, and this week it's especially about music. But before I get into that, please like, subscribe, share, subscribe to the channel. We love having you here, and we hope that you love being with us. That being said, gentlemen, it's time for us to shed some love on some songs that have been just earworming our way into our brains. I'll start us off, actually, if you don't mind, because I want to give its due. So what we've been listening to, I have been on a kick of Death of Peace of Mind by Bad Omens. Jake, I feel like you listen to Bad Omens.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you know this song. Great song. Title song off an album. Seth, have you ever heard it?
No, and based on the look of the graphic, I don't know if I'm the right audience for it to say.
So that's actually Jake's guy.
Okay,
Yep,
okay.
That's Vessel.
Okay.
We'll get there soon.
Yeah, that's Jake's guy. Death of Peace of Mind. You know what? It's hurtful that you haven't listened to it because I've sent it to you in Slack. So I was testing to see if you had listened, and now the whole internet knows that you kind of fucked me on this one, Seth.
I did.
That being said, what are you listening to, Seth? What's on your mind lately?
Yeah, man. So I've been all in right now, probably the last 3 to 5 years on just the growing country genre out there. And specifically this week, I've just been absolutely glued to Learn the Hard Way. This is another Jordan Davis song. And if you guys aren't familiar with Jordan Davis, he's kind of been a riser, I'd say, in like the mainstream country scene for the past several years. And this is one of his lead singles off his new album that'll be here later this summer. This guy just talks about life, man. Like everything from, having kids and buying your first house to losing someone you love, and Learn the Hard Way is just kind of one of those classic, I'm kind of on the other end of a heartbreak here, right? Like I got dumped this time. I'm at a bar, I'm drinking, but it's definitely a little bit of a different tone for him, and kind of back into that more party genre, which is always fun from Jordan Davis. So can't wait for the whole album, but Learn the Hard Way. That's been on repeat the past 7 days or so.
Man, I could never get into the country genre. Death of Peace of Mind is definitely more that electronic metal thing that's going on that I really like. Jake, how about your guys? I mean, this looks like something you'd see out of like a Resident Evil video game down here. So do they fit
Yeah.
the vibe?
Yeah, that's Vessel from Sleep Token. So their newest single, Damocles, has been what I've been listening to. It's the third single they've released off of their new album, Even in Arcadia. For those who aren't familiar with Sleep Token, this is Vessel. He's the singer. We know his name now. The last single that came out was how he hates that everybody knows who he is now. But it's the dark side of being famous, as he likes to put it. He just wants to release his music and have fun. They wear masks. This is actually the new version of their look. Their first 3 albums were essentially a story arc, and now we're starting the new story arc, so we get a new look to go along with it. But Damocles, it's a song very much, kind of all 3 of the songs that have really come out of this album so far have been very much like the good and the bad, not being able to always see what is going to come from the good things, the bad things that come with the good things, good things that come with the bad things. So this is very much in that niche. Despite their look, they do have some heaviness to their music. They don't have a lot of like screaming vocals. So Steve, I think you would actually enjoy their music.
I actually like Damocles. I've been listening to it, so they've grown on me for sure.
So I think you can get into it too. I've got people at work, like normies, only listen to Taylor Swift, and I told them to listen to Take Me Back to Eden, which is one of their songs off their last album, the self-titled track off of that album, and they're messaging me like I'm obsessed. And I'm like, cool, go listen to everything, figure out the whole story. We'll meet back here in a week and we can all cry together.
Well, you said this is their new look. I don't know if I want to see their previous look, because this one looks pretty frightening as is.
This one's actually way more frightening than their old look was.
Okay, yeah.
They went more in kind of the a lot of them are very similar to early Slipknot masks.
Okay.
Their old look was not this dark, but once you go through the whole story, the whole arc that they've kind of created, it makes a lot of sense as to why this is the look.
No doubt.
Great. Well, we got a lot to get to here on the show, so let's make the people some money. Let's dive into the forecast because we got some bets to lay down. Hit it. All right, so the forecast is upon us. It is time to help the people with their bets. You can find these on BetUS. That's the site we use for this particular section of the program. 3 bets coming at you this week. The first one is Marvel's latest arrival and possibly the most critically acclaimed Marvel movie since Black Panther. This thing is getting up near 90% Rotten Tomatoes scores. Critics love it. Marvel brought in A24 people like by the dozen for this movie, which is Seth, if you're not aware, or if anyone out there isn't aware, A24 is a production company that usually makes more artsy movies. So all of a sudden, Marvel is hearing the audience, I guess, saying, hey, the quality of the movie is dipping. We want something better with more to it. And they brought in A24. The question isn't about Rotten Tomatoes, though. The question is, will the audience respond to what the critics are saying in net Thunderbolts an opening weekend of over $69.5 million? Jake, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm taking the over here. The movie released today, and they're already reporting 11.5 million made. It's just going to keep going. Like you said, this is kind of the refresh that the genre of, the Marvel superhero movie is kind of needed. We saw it attempted kind of with Suicide Squad. It's a very similar thing, kind of that anti-hero vibe to it, which is very much, if you're not familiar with the Thunderbolts, that's what they are. They're not supposed to be heroes, but they are now. So that's the vibe we're getting. Great cast, like you said. When you bring in A24, things are just going to be good. If somebody's been associated with an A24 movie, it's going to be a quality motion picture. So when you bring those over to Marvel, an already critically acclaimed series that everybody for the most part loves, it's going to smash this number. I wouldn't be surprised to see it push triple digits.
Wow.
Yeah, A24 is basically like the Oscar creator now, right? Like that's kind of it's the factory that pumps out the Oscar kind of movies. You want to be a part of A24 if you're an actor that respects the genre at all. If you get tapped by A24, you know you're bringing some of the thunder. Seth, first off, are you hyped that Florence Pugh is becoming like the face of the MCU lately? Like she's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and now she's here and she's looking good and she's able to, deliver a lot more
Mhm.
emotion than a lot of people have been able to bring to this role. But do you see this going Marvel's way?
Yeah, dude. I mean, first with Florence Pugh specifically, someone had to pick up that mantle that was kind of dropped when all the OGs left, and she's been doing a great job with that. So super excited for her to once again be back. And like, I think bringing back the character of Bucky Barnes that helps. It's another established face in the Marvel MCU universe with Sebastian Stan. So I think that's definitely a plus. And I mean, dude, look, like you only pay the juice if you lose. I know the over here on Bet US is -175 if you want to go with the over. The under is giving you plus money. But I mean, you only pay it if you lose, right? And like, let's
Right.
just look at some of the past Marvel opening weekends numbers here. Eternals, 71 million. Eternals, and like, I actually liked Eternals.
I did too.
I know a lot of people though didn't.
You're one of the 20.
Yeah, yeah. Shang-Chi, 75 million. Like all the recent ones, even like Thor: The Dark World, 85 million. Like Brave New World just had 88 million. And this thing has been marketed, I would say, almost better than Captain America has. I've been
I would
seeing a
agree.
lot of buzz on socials. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube ads for it as well. So yeah, it's definitely smashed the over. Like, I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to drop multiple unit. I mean, this could be a 5-unit play here, Steve.
That's where I'm at with this too, because it's
Yep.
so the best marketing, right, is for people to realistically is for people to say this is a very good movie. And so far, all reports out of critics and early screenings are this is a very good movie. Everything I've seen on TikTok, Twitter, the internet in general is saying this is a Marvel movie you should see. It's almost a
Mhm.
must see movie. It's basically the first blockbuster of the summer, and that's essentially how it's being treated, and it's doing its job, which is amazing. We are 3 for 3 on agreeing that this is an over for all of us. I am so excited to see it. I will be seeing it early next week.
What do you think the number comes in at, Steve?
I wouldn't be shocked. I'm kind of with Jake if this winds up being around 105, 110 million
Wow,
dollar
Mm.
that's
opening
such a low
weekend.
line. Such a low
Yeah,
line.
I think they think there's more fatigue than there is. I think superhero fatigue is really bad movie fatigue.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you can't like don't piss down my leg and call it rain kind of.
Yeah.
So that's that's where we're at, I think, with Marvel, and I think they've heard it. I think they've listened, and I'm very excited about that. What I'm not excited about is our next bet because I feel like someone got screwed. We're going to talk about the top global artist on Spotify Wrapped this year. Now, I want to preface this because my gut pick is just not there.
Yeah,
Like,
we all know who you're picking. It's fine.
like, where's Lady Gaga? Done.
Mm.
Uh, Lady Gaga. What is
Yeah,
going on here?
I kind of get her not being on there. Like
I
she
would
goes
get it.
she goes so long between drops
Yeah.
that it kind of to be the top Spotify artist, you have to constantly be putting out music just because you not only does your current stuff have to be really good, people have to love your old stuff so much that they can't stop listening to it. And I feel
But
like her music is
so
so
many.
niche to an extent that it kind of
I don't
cuts
know.
off that upside.
I just feel like the issue here, especially in the streaming age, Steve, when it comes to someone like Gaga, Jake makes a great point. Like that audience for a lot of, that's my parents, right? Like that's the people who are in their 40s and 50s now. Like they grew up with Gaga, being, I won't say grew up with them, but like in their 30s, late 20s,
Yeah.
like Gaga was super present. And those are not always the people who are streaming the most now, right? Like it's teenagers, it's people in our age range between 24 and 32. And I just don't see those people being as into Gaga, despite your efforts here on the IBT Media YouTube channel.
Yeah, let me tell you, she probably should be the favorite just off of how many times I've streamed Mayhem in a row, right? Like she'll probably come in third, like on just on the back of me. And
It's
like
it's
I bought
possible.
tickets. I'm going to the tour. I'm all in on Gaga. That said, I did not pick Lady Gaga to win. Seth, you're the only one who has Jake and I are in agreement. So Seth, who do you got?
Yeah, so obviously Taylor Swift coming in as a heavy favorite, minus 335. You really can't be making any money on that unless you're throwing a ton of units on it, or I'm not sure if BetUS will let you parlay this with something else. But if I'm keeping a future in my back pocket for this long, it's gonna have to be on Bad Bunny, who I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know a Bad Bunny song. I mean, maybe if I heard it, I don't think I've ever listened to Bad Bunny. But when we're just looking at the pure numbers here, the past 2 years, 2024, 2023, Taylor Swift, she has won this honor of being the most streamed artist. Before that, 3 years in a row, well, it was Bad Bunny, right? And he was right there in 2023 as well. He finished second, and then he was still third this past week. So if you can give me 5-1 on a play of an artist who allegedly a lot of people like I'm down on that. A guy who's been in the top 3 mix, like I feel like 5-1 for one of the favorites is a good value, Jake.
Yeah, I agree with you. This was actually going to be my pick if Taylor Swift, like if Taylor Swift was out of the equation, I went with Taylor Swift. I just don't see a world where she doesn't win. But
Well,
what I
she hasn't
like,
dropped anything in a second though as well, right? Dead
but
Poet Society.
but with hers,
Her numbers are just
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
when you have the backlog that she has of bangers, you have the re-release of
Yeah.
everything with Taylor's version, still like very relevant in the sense that like the Eras Tour just wrapped up not that long ago comparatively. Like it's just a different. She's in her own echelon.
That thing went on for years, dude, because I saw her like
It
almost
was
like
2 years.
over
It was
2
2
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
man, that what a send for her, Steve.
Yeah, no, it's definitely crazy. I also went with Taylor Swift. If I didn't go with Taylor Swift, I think I would have taken maybe the next like chalk guy, which is The Weeknd.
What has the
Bad
weekend
Bunny,
done though?
I think he's just about to release an album or just
Oh,
released a
okay.
new album or
Okay.
something.
Mhm.
But Gaga just released a new album. But like Bad Bunny is a testament to how like I think we're so centralized sometimes in our ideas of like who's a popular artist that we forget the rest of the world exists, and he's so
Right.
Well,
popular internationally.
and that's what I was gonna say too, is like Bad Bunny's the only person on here that like outside of Taylor Swift that has truly like that level of international
Yeah.
appeal.
Yeah.
Like the Latin hip hop, Latin trap music, reggaeton space is so big everywhere. Even in America, it's huge. Like he's put up phenomenal numbers here as well. But that just has such a grasp on almost the entire Western society and a lot of, Eastern Bloc countries as well. Like his reach is arguably the largest on here besides Taylor Swift, which is why
Yeah.
he was my favorite of the non-favorites.
Mhm.
And that would also be, I think Taylor Swift's going to win. If I was personally betting it, I'd probably tail Seth a little bit here. This is one where I think the favorite is correct. And like Seth mentioned, there's not a lot of money to make on it. So I'll probably not invest any of my own units on here, but I may sprinkle a couple on Bad Bunny just in case.
Just in case.
Steve, real quick, like, is there any love from you, like from Drake at plus 850, Chappell Roan at plus 650? I mean, Chappell Roan, that country song she put out a month or two ago, I mean, that's got some heat behind it. And Drake's been he's been in the top 5 of this like every year going back to 2021, although like I stopped listening to him probably around 2018 or so.
So that's the problem. Is a lot of people are not listening to Drake, and I think Kendrick might have killed him. So like that's part of the issue.
Good point.
And then Chappell Roan's mouth is killing her, right? She's becoming unlikable.
Really?
Like a lot of people find her very unlikable right now.
Okay.
So I don't love that. I think if she had not been so negative in her press all the time.
Okay.
And I'm not saying she's not justified sometimes. She is, right? And you can have a bad day and stuff. It's just starting to get to be a little bit much for people, and they're moving away from her.
Okay.
As we are moving on to a new subject, which has nothing to do with music, but nonetheless, how about hitting us in the childhood a little bit? Legend of Zelda in production.
This is hitting me in the childhood, adulthood, teenage years.
Everywhere, right? Like who didn't play like Ocarina of Time and things like that? Like those are like established, like Breath of the Wild recently.
That's the best one. I'll die on that hill.
The question is, who will be playing the titular character of Zelda? Seth, start us out.
Yeah, so this was another one where, I mean, it is going to be really tough to nail a winner, but luckily, even the favorite, you're still getting a little bit of plus money there at plus 260. So, I think there are some bad bets on here. Like, I don't see Billie Eilish, deserving 5 to 1. Like, they're
Yeah,
definitely
I saw that and I just laughed.
Billie
like
Eilish.
that's the thing
Like
with these.
respect, but
Yeah, the thing with these entertainment markets that we need to keep in mind as a gambler, guys, is like there are gonna be some trap ones that people just know the name, right? And that they're gonna be drawn to it. So for me, I'm going with someone that I don't think should be as long as they are in the odds, and that's Florence Pugh. Going off at 12 to 1 right now. We already talked about her in this episode, guys, but I mean, this is one of the hottest actresses on the block right now. Like Oppenheimer, absolute smash a couple years ago. I
Mhm.
haven't seen it, but We Live in Time with Andrew Garfield, that's getting a
Oh
lot of
my
buzz.
god, it hurts in all the best ways.
Okay, yeah, maybe that'll be one I check out. Thunderbolts again coming out this week, and I think that's she's getting steam there. Black
Yep.
Widow was a banger, so I just think she's been around for a while. She's still 29, so I think this would be a role that she would embrace, coming from kind of that comic booky background now as well. And look, I don't know who they're gonna cast when it comes down to like ethnicity or country of origin or anything, but someone from the UK makes total sense in my mind when it's going for that like kind of like Zelda type lore. So yeah, just give me Florence Pugh on a little 12 to 1 long shot.
Yeah, I like that. I like Florence Pugh a lot. I think she's doing so well right now that like if you're trying to launch a Zelda universe, right? Doesn't it make sense to go with like the hottest actress on the planet? I think it makes perfect sense. But in my mind, a lot of times when I like play my game of casting in my head, I say, who looks the part? Look at this picture down below. Look at that picture. Does that not look like Zelda?
It does.
a little bit.
That's Hunter Schafer. Fantastic actress from Cuckoo most recently. Loved it. She is also in Euphoria. An unbelievable actress, able to bring a lot of emotion to the screen. Just an absolute queen. Love her so much. I think she would do such a good job. I mean, look at her. That literally, like, she could
Yeah,
stand there
that's a good
without
look.
any,
Yeah.
like, just walk onto set and you got her, right? Like, it's set. All you need to do is put like a dress on her, and boom, Zelda. I think the
Can't
choice is
argue with
easy.
it.
I think it's easy. Don't overthink it.
She is the favorite. It
I
makes
She should
sense.
be.
I actually really like Jake's play, to be honest. That was one I was considering getting down on, also because of kind of like the vibe and the
Yep.
look of it, Jake.
Yeah, so that was part of it. I went with Anya Taylor-Joy, currently plus 700 to play the part. But again,
High.
looks the part, like fits the mold of
Yep.
like when you picture Zelda,
Absolutely.
that's what you see. And again, just another person who's been really hot as of late, been in some really phenomenal movies. Even if you're going back to call it 2022, well, The Menu was absolutely massive. That was a massive streaming
That was a
release
good
for
movie.
you had Amsterdam. She's been kind of in the pseudo universe of the video game realm. She voiced Princess Peach in the Super Mario Brothers movies, Dune 2, Furiosa, The Gorge, another
Yeah.
really, really good streaming
Can we
movie.
talk
of
about
late.
how Furiosa got absolutely like fucked at the box office? Like, how was that not like one of the biggest movies of the year?
I think people were a little bored of the post-apocalyptic Mad Max thing.
Yeah.
It feels a little overdone.
Yeah, I agree. I
But
agree
it's been like
completely with that.
15 years since Mad Max, it feels like, or like at least a decade since Mad Max Fury Road.
It's been a while since that one, but
It was
it's
such a good
little
movie.
played out.
I don't know. That was such a good movie. I thought it was better than the Mad Max movie.
Yeah, it's just another one that feels like the people who grew up with Mad Max being, a part of their cinema journey is like, are they going to theaters right now? I don't know, right?
Is anybody though? Like, it's hard to get people to theaters, and I think we need to
Yeah.
like mention that too. Is it's just
Yeah.
part of the reasons why sometimes we look at the Thunderbolts prediction, right? And it's so low, it's like $70 million. Why? It's like because to take a family of four to the movies now is like an $80 endeavor
Oh
between
yeah.
tickets and snacks. Like, it's crazy.
Well,
So
and like you can't blame the theaters either too, because I remember when I used to work at a theater back in high school, is like, they're not making money off the tickets, right? So they got to make their money somewhere.
well, I gotta tell you, $10 for popcorn that costs them probably 3 cents to make is not the way to do it.
Hey, they got to do it, brother.
Like,
You know
it's
what
crazy.
is the way to do it though? Be like my movie theater and sell booze.
My movie theater also sells booze.
I'm
That's a good
sitting
way
in
to
a
do it.
heated and air conditioned recliner, drinking $7 White Claws. The chair is comfy enough that it makes it worth it for me.
I don't know if I'd want to get shit tanked at the
Well,
movie
no one gets
theater.
shit
Just
tanked. I think they give you a limit.
well, sure, but I just feel like in general, if I had a beer, I might go right to sleep. Though, honestly, sitting in a chair like that.
That's because you're old. But anyway, we'll move on from that and we'll debate that another time. We'll have odds on Seth falling asleep at the next movie he watches. But for now, we are going to turn our attention to another segment, Seth's favorite segment, and it's Kalshi Cuts. Time to get to it.
Under the neon lights where the shadows dance, we ride the rhythm, take a chance. Blades of sound slicing through the night. Kalshi cuts, bringing fire to the fight. Kalshi cuts, sharp and clean, carving paths in a midnight dream. Feel the beat, let the echoes rise in the heart of the city.
All right. I figure, we have Seth on. We got to make sure we do Kalshi Cuts because he's a country boy with a country heart. And he's going to talk about a country artist for his Kalshi Cut. Seth, lay it on us.
Yeah, it's Morgan Wallen, the only guy on the thumbnail anyone's gonna know to click on. So he's coming out with his new album here, I'm the Problem. This will be released on May 16th. And look, it's been a little while since we've seen a full-length album for Morgan Wallen, but we know one thing, right? Like, this guy moves the needle, especially in the country music scene. And, he's slowly starting to bridge that gap a little bit, just into the general pop world as well. So Morgan Wallen, he's going to be dropping this album. Kalshi has, just an absolute, you can bet on almost every song on this album on Kalshi. There are going to be a ton of them. So I looked at one that, like, okay, can I find it in? Can I find somewhere to get invested here with Morgan Wallen? And it was in his song, Just in Case. It's already been released. I'm taking the over on the more than 120 million streams by June 20th of this season for this specific song. And just to kind of give you a little bit of context when it comes to Morgan Wallen and kind of his catalog and what he's done number-wise so far in his career. So his number one song, over 1 billion last night. Everyone kind of knows this one as well. This was a newer one, but 1.2 million on that. I Had Some Help. That was him in Post, which was released not too long ago. That's over 1 billion as well. And when it comes to songs we've seen already come off this album, Lies, Lies, Lies is one of the, if not the most popular, already well over this number we need to get to, actually double of it. It's almost at 260 million right now. So when you look at Just in Case, it's sitting at right around 59 million right now. So we need to effectively double this number within roughly the next month and a half. And right. I think we can do that just purely because it's already been released. While it wasn't obviously one of his top song and a banger that everyone loved as much as I thought I did, still a very, very catchy song. And I just think this album's going to get so many dang plays because every time Morgan Wallen releases an album, it sets some type of record for streaming that just by the factor of being in there, Just in Case is going to get over this 120 million mark. And it's at even money, guys. So if I bet $100 on it, I'm going to walk away with an extra 100 in my pocket if this cashes. So if I can get even money, it's 50 cents technically on Kalshi. But yeah, give me the over on this one. Jake, any thoughts from you? I know you're a Morgan Wallen fan. I remember the last album I put out on Twitter, like, here's my tiers, ranking them. You had some input on that. And so any thoughts on this specific bet, Just in Case, and the overall album, and your excitement for it coming on May 16th on The Problem?
Yeah, I'm definitely really excited for it. Anytime he drops new music, he's a guy where I end up loving the songs that nobody else does.
Yeah, agreed.
In a big way. Like, his radio stuff has never been my favorites of his. It's always been the other songs on the album.
Mm-hmm.
But what you mentioned with, we have a little over a month to double this. We've done, like you said, almost 60 million in a month. This came out on March 31st of this year. Once the album drops on the 16th, so just 2 weeks away, this is going to start finding its way into playlists a lot more frequently too. It's going to be, forced into, the top 40s, the new releases. It's going to be, forced into Spotify's algorithm under all of it. And this is my favorite of the 4 songs that have come out from the album so far, and I think it only continues to grow. And once the album actually drops and this gets forced onto playlists more frequently, I think it's going to smash this number.
So can I ask the two of you, Seth? I'll start with you on this one. Does his recent controversy, we'll call it, maybe, a couple actions that caused people, rubbed some people the wrong way.
Sure.
Do you think that could slow it down?
No, not at all. Because yes, he made a little bit of smoke on Saturday Night Live and then some social posts, but like compared to some of the other stuff we've seen with Morgan Wallen over the year, I mean, who will forget him throwing the chair off the rooftop here, maybe 12 months ago or so? I think at Luke Bryan's down there on Broadway. It's like this guy's like MO, right? Like it's the bad boy of the country scene, but people love it, man. So no, absolutely not. And I'll say this, Steve, so much that like if you wanted to bet Morgan Wallen not to have a #1 album this year, I mean, it's paying out at 12-1 right now for him not to. So it's like you can't even bet the yes side of this because you're not going to make any money. You can't right now. There are no offers currently on Kalshi on the yes side of this because you would have to wager so much to make anything in return. Like this, the books know it. We know it. This guy's an unstoppable force, 100%. So
yeah, and just
right.
to kind of go off of what he said there, he had a controversy back in 2021 when he was caught on camera, somebody's Ring doorbell camera saying the N-word. Obviously, not a great thing for him, but his album actually sold more after that happened. When you look at
it is,
he got removed from an SNL spot during COVID for violating COVID protocols. He had another surge there. Like, being in the country space, there is a little bit of that. Like if you go against the typical grain of things, that people do back you up a little bit, whether that's right or wrong. And I think he's starting to fall more under the kind of separate the art from the artist person for a lot of people, where it's like, I don't think I'd like him. I do get told I look like him way too frequently.
With the hat on for sure. The hat on for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it all the time. Every time I'm at a local bar and everybody's drunk, they're like, "Is that Morgan Wallen?" I'm like, "No, I can't sing."
You should pretend to be and give out a couple autographs.
Yeah, see if you can make some money off of it.
Jake, probably could.
Stick with your pick. Final Destination, which I'm very excited about, by the way.
Yeah, I'm it's actually wrong on here. I did the under. On the screen here, it's showing the over, but I took the under. I think these, much like we were talking about a little bit earlier with Mad Max, think it's a little played out. I think I'm over it. I've been over it since the second one. They're just not good. It's so predictable.
I've heard this one though is a return to form. They put more money into it, so I heard it's actually better.
Maybe there's a chance, but I felt the best way to make money here was on the under 65.5% or under 65% Rotten Tomato score. I just think it's played out. It's just not. I don't think people want a Final Destination type movie anymore. Like I feel like horror has gone in such a way that this kind of just pure, oh, jump scare, everybody dies. Oh, is this the time he's going to die? Maybe. Like, it's played out. It's done. The last one came out 14 years ago, which is maybe the only hope of this having some relevancy, is it has been a while.
And maybe it gets some love because it's Tony Todd's last film.
Possibly. But at the same time, I don't know if anybody was actually asking for this.
I love Final Destination. Shout out to Devin Sawa, follows me on Twitter.
There are a lot of people that Final Destination has messed them up, though, Steve.
Yeah, no. All three of us, I'm sure, have seen a truck with logs in front of us, and we're like,
"Yes,
what is that about?
I'm
gonna move." Right? I want to jump into mine now because I just have something to say about this. 28 years later, Rotten Tomato score over 45. If this bet doesn't hit, I am saying it live on the internet, so I cannot take it back. I will eat those stupid hot wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, like live on air, if this doesn't hit.
I'll join you.
That trailer was the greatest trailer I've ever seen in my entire life. There's no way this movie isn't good. There's no way they got the two people they got together for this. Alex Garland is writing it, and oh my God, I'm blanking on the director's name.
Danny Boyle.
Danny Boyle. Oscar-nominated people are writing and directing this movie. They have brought Ray Fiennes in to act in it.
Oh,
They
wow.
have brought significant talent in, a huge budget. The trailer itself is one of the most amazing, captivating. Every time it comes on, like, I don't love when I see repeat trailers in the movies too often because I'm like, all right, I've seen like, I can only see that fucking Mission Impossible trailer one more time before I like blow my brains out. This one, I could have it on repeat. I wish they showed every preview was just this one on rerun. Like, it's so good that, like, you know what I'm talking about, Jake, right? Where it's like 7, 6, 9, and 24. Like,
dude,
like
I was watching
YouTube.
YouTube. I was watching YouTube videos the other day of people who were deciphering the little, almost look like my sleep token tattoo, like the little glyphs that were hidden in screenshots of the trailer. Like, there's so much hype around it. I would be appalled if this number doesn't hit.
Yeah. Now, our typical co-host, Trash, does not like horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
She's a bit of a baby. Seth, are you also a candy ass, or do you like horror movies?
Yeah, like I gotta be in the certain mood for him. I'm really not super big into him, honestly. Like, I didn't know if you would technically label this a straight horror movie, though. It almost seemed like more of a, I mean, maybe it is, and I haven't got the gist, but it almost seemed like a thriller as much as a horror, though, I would say, right?
It's definitely both, but it's meant to scare you. Like, there's a lot of jump scares.
Yeah,
I will say though, the culty aspect of it that's being implied very heavily, I think it does branch off a little bit more heavily from your traditional horror, like especially if you're comparing it to like Final Destination, like essentially like a modern classic series. I think this is going to play into the human aspect of this universe more so than the zombie aspect. Infected, not zombies, not zombies.
I would definitely say, like, if I were to watch a horror movie, it's more this type. That's like not your classic. You know, we have one villain running around trying to kill
there's something wrong with the house kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Like
yeah.
Slasher.
Yep.
Gotcha.
100%. Yep.
Gotcha. All right, boys, let's talk a little bit more music. That Morgan Wallen thing kind of inspired me, and it's time for us to shed some love on some of our favorite artists of all time. So let's dive into Mount Rushmore. Let's get to it.
Best of the best, mountains in the west, the stories will last, the present and past.
It is time for Mount Rushmore, where we each pick our 4 best of some random obscure topic, and we are going to start with Jake because he's so good at what he does. Jake, what are your 4 best concerts you have ever seen?
So we're going to start this off with my 4. I need to clarify something. I've never gone to a Cole Swindell concert.
Okay.
I have been to a lot of Thomas Rhett concerts where Cole Swindell has opened, and every single time my wife and I leave, like, Thomas Rhett was amazing, but Cole Swindell absolutely fucking kills it.
Yeah.
Like, so for those who, haven't heard the song that he has about, it's about his dad passing away and like how he's gone through his whole rise of being a country singer without his dad. Dude, not a dry eye in the fucking venue, including his. He cries like every time he performs the song, but the dude puts on such a damn good show, perfectly in key, doesn't miss a note the entire time. Like, he's not my favorite artist by any means. I don't love a lot of his music, but I will go out of my way to go to a concert if he is involved in it. Like, absolutely kills it.
Great.
Next up, we've got Kelsey Ballerini, the queen, my queen. Kelsey, I love you. My wife said it's okay that I love you. She loves you too.
Favorite female country artist probably all time for me. I love Kelsey as well.
It's not even close either. Like, just absolutely kills it. Everything she puts out is gold. Every concert, like, you're going to hear a couple of the songs, but even like, we've gone to concerts that were like a couple days after her new album came out, and like, nobody knows the songs, right? No, every single person knows every word to every goddamn song she sings, And she, again, every song is perfect, perfectly in key. She cries every time too, especially if you know like her story and her divorce and all of that. Murders every single time. Next up, personal favorite, Bill Murray, the GOAT, my favorite artist
Not
of
the
all time.
actor.
Not
Not
the
the
actor.
actor for clarification.
For anybody, any of
Yeah.
my fellow emo kids who listen to Attack Attack, it's Johnny Frank, the old singer from Attack Attack. This is a new project. Again, just absolutely kills it every time. Knows how to put on a great show. In tune. His band is even arguably the best part of the show. Like so many times you go to a concert and it's like, yeah, the headliner's going to kill it. Of course. The lead singer's going to kill it. Of course. No, the best part of his shows is just his interactions with his band and how fun they all how much fun they all have on stage together. So absolutely had to be in there. And then last up, probably my favorite singer-songwriter of all time, Jake Scott. Again, just a guy kills it every single time. All of his songs are phenomenal recorded, even better live. Plus, he's still small enough that we see him in these, small, intimate venues still, where it's like, 400 person caps, as opposed to like you want to see Kelsey Ballerini or Cole Swindell now, you got to see him in arena. Like just the vibe you get from a Jake Scott show is unmatched. He's amazing, and everybody should listen to him.
Seth, what about you?
Yeah. So number one,
Good stuff.
Yeah, number one. Actually, I am gonna amend the list I initially sent in earlier this week, just because I did forget one at the top. But number one's got to be Eras Tour, Taylor Swift. Saw her a couple years ago with the fiance down at Akershire Stadium, down there on the shore in Pittsburgh, and like my goodness, like that. I don't even know. Like I think maybe I didn't initially think of it when I thought concerts, because it really wasn't a concert. It's more like an experience, honestly.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, legitimately, dude, like I'm not like I don't consider myself necessarily a Swiftie. I like Taylor Swift. I like a lot of her songs and I love her songwriting, but really just everything she did, from the presentation and the set to how she really just doesn't stop for 4 hours, is maybe the most impressive thing I've ever seen. Like I've been to AFC championship games for the Steelers where they've won. I've been to some awesome sporting events over my life. That might have been the coolest thing I've ever seen, honestly. Like it was really up there. Everyone, not a person inside or outside that stadium was having a bad night. So Taylor Swift's got to be one. Number two, sticking with the Pittsburgh theme here, Wiz Khalifa. Saw him in Burgettstown in 2018, Dazed and Blaze tour. I bet Wiz is probably a showman everywhere, but especially in his hometown of Pittsburgh. It was fantastic out there at the pavilion. Everyone's lighting up. It's a cloud of smoke, but it's fun, man. And like, this was right after Rolling Papers 2 came out. Very, very meaningful album to me. And it was like one of those last times I can remember being in college with my buddies and just having one of those weekends where we all just broed out, right? We all broed out. We went to the concert. It was a fantastic time. So shout out Wiz. Got to shout out my guy Mac Miller too, keeping it Pittsburgh again, Western PA proud, baby. But saw Mac Miller my freshman year, 2016 homecoming IUP. This was in kind of a weird transition of his career where he was very much in like the I want to call it like the lover boy phase a little bit, but like that was kind of like his music. He was with Ariana at that point. So I wasn't a huge fan of the album that he played a lot of his songs off of, but everything this guy was putting out was honestly like pure magic. And he, of course, played a bunch of extra songs, went over the set time. And rest in peace, Mac. I'll never forget that, man. He's always been one of my favorite artists growing up. He felt like a friend to me more than, someone I looked up to and respected as an artist. Someone, kind of grew up with me out in that Western PA street. So, and then last one I'll shout out here, Dylan Scott. Saw him at the Indiana County Fair. And Dylan Scott has definitely gained some traction, Jake. I know you are familiar with Dylan Scott. This was back in again, probably 2017. I couldn't even drink at the time, but this guy put on a show there that had the whole place rocking. And I was like, yeah, I already was in from his debut album. But since I knew this guy was going to be big since then, and he just very relatable music, but really fun music to kind of get you going a little bit as well.
Dude, I wish his personality isn't what it is. Him and Russell Dickerson both fit this mold of like, I absolutely love their music, but they both give off just such douchey vibes.
See, I never follow like any of his content or anything, so I only really know him from the music.
I feel
Dude,
like
it's
Seth is just chronically offline. Like
that's the
he
vibe
runs
I'm
a
getting.
media company, and yet he's like, I know nothing of
I-
these people's existence.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok anymore. I had to get rid of that a couple years ago because that takes you down a hole. And honestly, like, yeah, I do just like kind of like I'm on my computer so much. I try to stay off social media because I'm just working so much because I'm a dog out here, Steve. Put the team on
Yeah.
my back. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. I try to Slack you, and it takes 3 hours to get responses. So
Damn
I know
job.
it. All right. My 4. So this is basically like my Mount Rushmore would look like kind of like a weird triangle because there's like one at the top and then there's like
Okay.
3 that are like fine. Right. But I'll start with the 3 at the bottom. I will say that the Foo Fighters were one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
This is before Taylor passed away, their drummer. It was at the TD Garden in Boston.
Damn.
It was on a school night. I was in high school. Dragged my best friend with me. I was like, let's go to a concert. Like, let's just go. I had tickets like in the nosebleeds. We went, they played till like 2 a.m, which they weren't supposed to do. We didn't get home
Wow.
till like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I skipped school the next day. He didn't. My buddy didn't. He never skipped school. And we had like made a pact
Nerd.
that like we'd both show up to school the next day. Like we couldn't like bail and leave the other one. And I was like, I'm not going. So I stayed home. I skipped school that day. Just an unbelievable environment. I love the Foo Fighters. I like good rock music.
Yeah.
And they're like the pure, if you think like a rock band, like the Foo Fighters are kind of
Yeah.
like a rock
Mhm.
band,
Oh,
right?
yeah, 100%.
They're like the last of the breed of like, you guys were in like your garage together trying to figure out how to make it, and then you did. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it just gives that vibe. In the same kind of similar vein, I saw Bon Jovi twice. So I grew up with my mom is a big Bon Jovi fan. So my family, we all kind of went to see Bon Jovi. I was again in high school.
Nice. Yeah.
I saw them at Gillette Stadium, not really knowing what to expect. I liked their music, but I was like, what am I going to get out of this? Right? He was like 50-ish years old at that point. So you never know what you're going to get when you are stepping into that. You're in high school listening to 80s music. It's like, what am I going to? Unbelievable. He was unreal. He was so good. It was such a fun concert. His voice was still strong. He was able to do all the notes. His showmanship, like this dude, no wonder he never got fat because that dude like sprints for 2 hours around the stage, like jumping up and down. Like it's the craziest energy. And it's not like a big production, like a lot of like there, it is this big stage, but it's not like fire and this and that. Like it was
Right.
very like kind of bare bones of like, I am the star. You're here to see me. Like John Bon Jovi, Spotlight. You know what I mean? Another classic band that I saw, Green Day. Saw them at Fenway Park. It was Green Day, Weezer.
Nice.
It was supposed to be Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy, it was during COVID. One of them got COVID. They couldn't play. Weezer was fine. Green Day, unbelievable show. They
Mhm.
played for 3 hours. Billy Joe Armstrong, big fan. He always brings it. They, unlike Bon Jovi, are a big production. Fire on every song. Something's burning or blowing
Don't
up.
age at all.
They don't age at all. Their music is just as good today as it was back then. They play it just as well. They're just as energetic. Absolutely amazing. But it doesn't get better for me than Shinedown. Shinedown, every single time I see them, I say that's the best concert I've ever been to. And they always one up themselves. I'm going to see them again this July for what will be my 13th
Wow.
time seeing Shinedown. I go
Impressive.
at least once, usually multiple times per tour to see them when they come around. When I tell you that Brent Smith is my music idol, if I had one, he would be it. His vocals are unbelievable. If you're not a Shinedown fan, I urge you to look up some of their music because there's something for everybody. If you're saying I've never heard of them, yes, you have, because you've heard like Second Chance or something like that. This man is so incredibly talented. His vocals are so beyond what you think a normal human should be able to do that it just creates this unbelievable show, not to mention all the pyro and the lights and the stage and the whole thing that goes along with it. So I have to give the top spot to Shinedown because for 13, 15, 16 years now, they've entertained me in a way that no other band has. And every time they get better. So how could I not say it's them?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But that's the love we have to give out for this episode. But that means we're bringing some Heat to close it out. Let's make some people mad.
Maybe nostalgia's got you blind, or maybe I just see it right. I know you wanna shout, but before you shut me down, just hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not afraid to take the heat. Hear me out. I'll die on this hill if I need. You can fight it, you can hate it, but you'll never say I forget.
I think that's our best drop. I'm not gonna lie. I think
Was
that's
that
our
a clip
best
from
drop.
the league at the end? Is that what that is?
No.
Or
Psych. That's like me.
Okay.
Me and Crash love Psych. So
okay, nice.
we do like to. I like to add some shows or movies that I love to like all these clips because well, I make them. So
Fair.
I get to do what I want. Hear Me Out is it's a safe space. This is a safe space to say whatever you feel is in your heart at the moment. And I'll tell you what, just to make it a safer space, I will start.
Thank you.
Because I don't want anyone to feel bad. My hot take, and maybe it's not that hot, but I think some people need to hear this. If you can't sing it live, don't bother making it. If you can't perform your song live, and as a matter of fact, I'm gonna say their name because they're the ones I think of when it comes to this. Maroon 5 has made a career off of songs that Adam Levine can't sing.
Yeah.
Like at
absolutely.
all. And it's really, really frustrating when you find a band you like, you go to watch them live, and you're like, this sucks.
Have you been to a Maroon 5 concert then?
So unwillingly. I went to the Super Bowl that they performed at. So I was there for the Super Bowl. They performed at the halftime show. The Patriots against the Rams, like in that defensive battle. And they were awful. And Travis Scott was there and he was awful. So it was just overall bad. The music wasn't good. You couldn't, Adam Levine can't hold a note. He's not a good singer. And it's so infuriating that this man is paid millions of dollars and has millions and millions of people listening to him.
Judges people on it on The Voice, or used to at least.
Well, that's the thing. And then he was on The Voice, and I'm like, that is such a joke to me that he's going to tell someone how to sing when he's out there like shrieking like a dying cat. Like, what on earth is going on?
Fair.
That is my hot take.
I don't think that's that hot, honestly.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
It's not, but it's like people are like, well, you don't listen to them just for the concerts. Like, I could separate, and it's like, how?
I'm okay if it sounds a little bit different, but it needs to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I get
like-
production value, but
Like
Yeah,
I
you
think
need to be
a
ballpark,
real
though.
a good example of that though, where like I'm okay with it is All Time Low, for example. Like Alex Gascart, the singer, just comes out and says he's like, I don't have the same voice I had when I was 17 recording songs.
Sure,
like they're
sure.
not going to sound the same.
Yeah,
And that's
fair.
okay, right? Like
Right.
if you're like Justin Bieber gets on stage and says, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna do Baby," but here's the problem: I hit puberty right after that, right? Like my voice substantially changed. All right, like that's fine, right? I can get with that. But
I can still sing it.
When people put out the album and then you go to see that album on tour and it sounds nothing like it.
Yeah.
it
Panic
does
at the
suck.
Disco is another awful
Well,
offender.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
That's Brendan Urie's own fault. Once he learned what vibrato was, he just did it, and then he did it so poorly and had no concept of how to sing that he just destroyed his voice.
Yeah.
And then got himself canceled like 4 times.
Yeah, for
Good
sure.
job, Brendan.
He's a strange one. Seth, what do you got?
All right, so my hot take, hear me out. Jonas Brothers country songs actually kind of hit. And look, I got a love-hate relationship with the Joe Bros, man. Like, I don't think anyone can deny that, like, Burning Up, SOS, like, Year 3000, all their old, like, Disney bangers. They still hit, bro. You can put it on at, like, any party, but, you know, around people that are, like, right with us in, like, terms of age, where we're, like, old Gen Z, young millennials, whatever you want to call us, and it absolutely hits. And then they go away for however long, and then they come back with that album in the late 2000 teens that was absolutely awesome, man. Like, that was a freaking great album, man. Like, Happiness Begins. Like, that was really, really cool how they did that. I love their new sound. And then I don't know like what they did when they came out with their next album, the album in 2023. It was god awful. Like I don't know what they were trying to do.
They don't
Um,
either.
yeah, and they have since like leaned into since 2023 a couple country one-offs. They have Strong Enough with Bailey Zimmerman, absolute banger. They also have I Dare You with Rascal Flatts, which like Rascal Flatts and Joe Bros, like it kind of makes sense, right? Like you got those
Yeah,
guys
they're
that can
from that same time.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can hit those high notes, but like it's a good scene. Like I know Post Malone's kind of come over, and not every Post Malone country song is great, but what I've seen from the Jonas Brothers so far in this country scene, it's way better than like 90% of their other music. That's I guess my hot take here, and I bet a lot of traditional Jonas Brothers fans are like, no, couldn't be me, but it could be me.
All
I'm
right. Jake, you like the country Jonas Brothers too?
It's better than a lot of their music.
I like one song by the Jonas Brothers. It's called
What is it? What is it?
Paranoid.
Oh man, I don't even think I know that song, to be honest. Is that an old song or is that a no?
Oh
That's
yeah, yeah, it's
okay.
old.
Okay,
It's old.
dude, check out Happiness Begins. Like give it a
Is
little.
it country?
No, that was their 2019 album. That was a good run. Like that has some wavy shit. I'll send you some things. I'll send you some things.
Great. Now I'm gonna be listening to the Jonas Brothers. Jake, what's your hot take? What do we need to hear you out on?
Yeah, hear me out. Singers in underground bands or like scene bands, metal bands, emo bands, they're better than 90 to 95% of the singers that actually get popular. And I don't think it's close either. Like, especially if we brought up Adam Levine, we brought up The Voice earlier. There's a guy, he was on, I believe it was season 7 of The Voice. Came in second place on the show, put out almost no music after that. In 2019, he joined kind of like a post-hardcore alt-rock band called Rain City Drive. Phenomenal. Nobody realizes that guy was on The Voice. If you look at other seasons of The Voice, Cassidy Pope kind of transitioned into country, either won or also was a runner up there, was the singer of an underground pop punk band called Hey Monday for a really long time. Like if you look at half of the people that are in these shows, I know them from those scenes. Teddy Swims, phenomenal singer, one of the biggest guys in the world, started as a vocalist in metal and pop punk bands. Like
I agree. Like you go on YouTube even and you find these people who have like no representation, no albums to drop. Like there's a guy, Nate Wants to Battle. I'm sure you've run into him once or twice, Jake, in your times. Great, like writes good music. It's really catchy. Sometimes he does covers, sometimes he does originals, right? Usually pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot of talented people out there. I do think people think being a singer though, like an actual vocalist is easier than it is, right? Like you're seeing a lot of TikTok guys, like everyone who gains a following on TikTok suddenly is like, I'm going to become a singer. They all do the exact same kind of like really high pitched pop sound. Like they just sing in falsetto like forever and a day. And then, yeah, it all sounds the same, but they're like, I encourage all our listeners, all our viewers to go to your local like House of Blues, your local clubs that have small venues. Like you don't need to go to an arena to see a great show. These guys that are coming out and are number one, they're going to give you everything they have, right? They're playing for their lives in front of you. They need you to like them, right? Because they're trying to make it. Go see them too, because you can go in for like $10 and get like the show of shows. So, like, will it be like flashy lights and pyro? No, but will the music be unbelievable and really, really intimate spaces? Yes, it's amazing.
Hell, if you like country music and you're in Nashville, go anywhere.
Any
I've heard better singers in bars in Nashville at fucking 1 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon,
right?
Then I paid hundreds of dollars to go see vocalists sing. Like,
I definitely echo this, guys, and like we always talk about over on the Back Road, our NASCAR betting show here in IBT, like go support your local short tracks. Like it's the same thing here when it comes to your local artists. I lived in State College for a few years, and like that one of the coolest things that I loved, and like it felt like a lot of my friends didn't like it as much as like myself, my fiance, but we just loved finding some of these local bands downtown because they could absolutely put on a show. My Hero Zero is one of our favorites. There were so many, man, like the Corner Brothers, Low Jack, like there were so many great bands, and like they give it your all, man. They give it your all. And like there's some like my favorite nights in like my mid to early 20s was out there at local bars, just listening to some of the great talent out there. And I agree, Steve. Like when you find a good vocalist too, someone who can sing, it makes it so much more fun. Especially when they're just taking requests. Because I'm the guy out there in the crowd. Play some Creed. Let's hear some
Yeah.
Creed.
Freebird.
No Freebird. No Freebird.
Seth loves
Freebird.
his Creed.
I do love Creed.
I
Yeah,
do love Creed.
If you can play a good Creed song, I'm in, baby. You got me.
You're usually a pretty good musician if you can play Creed stuff, but we can't get onto that tangent because it's that sad time where it's time for us to say goodbye to all of you wonderful people. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're listening, watching, smoke signaling. I don't know how you're watching this, but thank you so much for consuming everything we're doing. Please, if you would be so kind, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your grandma about how great we are. Come here to chat with us. Drop in the comments. Let us know how we're doing. Tell us your favorite concerts you've ever seen.
Please.
We are always looking for the best, newest, thing to listen to watch. Whatever movies or music you are listening to, we want to know about it. Jake, Seth, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. My name is Steve Lawson. Until next time, guys, stay good, be you, take care.